Everyone, and welcome to today's morning report analysis videos on Thursday the 8th of June with me, Richard Perry, market analyst at Handset Markets. We've got so much going on today that could create volatility in these markets that we need to just get straight into it. You've got the ECB first of all. ECB at 12:45 gives its monetary policy decision. Rates are going to stay on hold, but the expectation is that the ECB will sort of shift towards more balanced risks. Previously, the risks have been sort of skewed to the downside, and that would sort of suggest that they are on the path now towards beginning normalisation of monetary policy. And that will be an important moment, I think. Markets sort of flew around a little bit yesterday for the euro on the expectation that, or on the leaks, that apparently the ECB is ready to cut its inflation forecast, but also then sort of bouncing back as well, because apparently it could upgrade its growth forecast as well. So real uncertainty as to exactly how that's going to go. But certainly this afternoon, we're going to see a bit of euro volatility. Plus, we've also got the testimony from former FBI Director Comey this afternoon, and it's likely that it's not going to be as much of a big issue for Trump as perhaps previously thought. And then the other big factor today is the UK election. UK goes to the polls today to vote for its next government. I can't say a great deal about that because I don't really know my legal side of that, but because on the election day you have a purdah, which means people are not allowed to talk about it. But all I can say is that I think the markets at the moment are pretty lazily assuming a Tory majority increase. But you've got sterling, which is fairly settled to 29.65. Markets are basically in front of all these risk factors, are basically flat. Forex majors not really doing a great deal. Gold is basically flat. Equity markets all but flat, and you're not really seeing too much movement anywhere. So I think the risks are sort of going to be weighed this afternoon, and I think you're going to get a huge amount of sterling volatility overnight. From 10 o'clock you've got the exit polls, which will give you the expected result, although then throughout the night you'll see certain constituencies announcing their results, and the sort of marginal constituencies will give you the true reflection of the result. So that is today. Now, in terms of my chart of the day, I thought, why not Euro sterling? Big volatility expected this afternoon and overnight, so I think this chart is going to look significantly different tomorrow morning than to what it does now. But you look at the technicals and you see this rally. Let's zoom out a bit, because you can see that since Brexit, that was Brexit, markets basically traded sideways, not gone anywhere, and latterly has been sort of trading in a range between 88.50 and 83 figure to the downside. That rally from the sort of early part of May has now started to roll over, and yesterday it broke below a bit of a reaction low, 86.80 area, with that bear candle, and if it breaks below 86.50, I think that would be sort of confirmation of a breakdown. But you look at these momentum indicators, RSI now below 60, MACD lines crossing lower, stochastics giving a crossover sell signal. It does suggest that technically speaking the market's expecting a stronger sterling out of the coming volatility events. So that would suggest, again, I think possibly quite lazily, an increased Tory majority. But it'll be interesting to see if that is the case. But also it suggests that perhaps the market could be a buy on rumour, sell on fact for this ECB event this afternoon as well. So market could be well pulling back towards the 86 figure pivot that it's seen since February. So it could well pull back towards there. A strong Tory majority would see the market sort of back around the 84, 85 level, I think, this evening and overnight. But that would be sort of later on tonight. But certainly the Euro Sterling chart seems to be sort of rolling over at the moment. That 86.50 level is in there as your support. But the market is sort of taking a more corrective look at the at this sort of hourly chart, which has rolled over Previous moving averages, which had been supportive, are now sort of rolling over and becoming resistance. So it also suggests towards sterling at strength. So obviously good luck in your trading today, and I will speak to you later. Thank you.